Okay, so I'm gonna quickly start my vlog here, but hi, I'm Danielle and this is Excalibur Books, and today we are going to be doing a winter themed reading vlog. So I have been so ill, so I might sound a bit rough still. I just had a really bad cough and cold and I've just not been feeling great. So I took some time out making a vlog and we're just going to start a new one today. And my first winter book that I am reading, I'm not usually a mood reader or a seasonal reader, but I thought I'll get some winter books in because I never get to them in the winter. Firstly, we're going to be reading Dark Matter by Michelle Paver. I've been wanting to read this for so long, and yeah, I think it's just the perfect time. If I don't read it now, then it's going to take me ages to get to it. I keep looking around because I'm in a car park and I'm scared there's going to be people seeing me recording. I have started it and it's a slower read. It's got off to a slow start, but that don't mean I'm not going to enjoy it. So far I'm really enjoying it. It's building a really ominous atmosphere, which I really love. And basically this group of men are going to make camp and research. It's not Antarctica, I don't think. It might be Antarctica. I think it's haunted. So I'm really in the mood for a quiet ghost story. So I'm really excited about this. I'm going to head into work now, but I will update you when I've read more. Okay, so it is a few days later now. I'm really paranoid that there's people in this car park, so I might keep looking around. But I have finished Dark Matter by Michelle Paver and I rated this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think you have to go into this knowing that it's going to be a quiet, slow ghost story. The main essence of this book is the loneliness, how hard it is to survive in the Arctic on your own, cabin fever syndrome that you can get when you're on your own, that sort of thing. At the start of the story, one of his friends becomes ill and they have to take him back to the mainland, but our main character stays there on his own to continue on the experiment. Their ship captain was being funny about their location from the start, but he wouldn't tell them what was wrong. You get hints of, well, it literally says a ghost story on the cover, so you know that he's obviously talking about hauntings or something. Sorry, someone walked past the car, so I had to quickly put my phone away. I think the author does a really good job at building up just dread, the feeling of dread when you're reading the book, you know something's going to happen. I really enjoyed that and I can't wait to read her other books. It seems like a winter one, so I could read it, but I don't want to read 2 books by the same author back to back because they give off the same vibes. I have started another book. Where is my Kindle? I had a few options last night, but I was just cooking dinner and stuff, so I didn't really have time to show them. But I don't have many winter books. I have Near the Bone by Christina Henry and A Lat's Away I have at home, but I opted for Stolen Tongs by Felix Blackwell, but I'll tell you more about that soon because I've got to go to work. I'm back home now. The lighting's really bad because it's dark outside again, so the quality will probably be really bad on this clip. Sorry this vlog has just been all over the place and just little clips here and there to start off with. I've been trying to fit in filming clips when it's light outside, but that's just before work basically, and I'm always in a bit of a rush before work. Anyway, before I quickly went off the last clip because I was getting late for work, I told you I was reading Stolen Tongs on my Kindle and I read 50 pages today whilst I was at work, so I can sort of tell you what's happened so far. We are following a couple and there was a little bit of a prologue, I don't think it was called a prologue, where this couple is freshly, they're a fresh couple, they're newly together and they go and look after one of their friends' dogs in their wooden cabin. They have a parrot as well, and basically it was really creepy set up to the book because the parrot was talking to someone that like wasn't there, and it would say like knock knock and then look at the door, but like no one was there, so it was really creepy. They ended up like taking all the animals back to their apartment and saying like, look, your house was like really creepy, we've took all your animals and you're gonna have to pick them up from here. I think it said 7 years or 5 years in the future. This couple is now engaged and they're going to one of the dad's cottages in the woods. Stuff has started happening there as well. I think this is like one of the first times that I have been like creeped out by a book. That like that whole parrot thing was really creeping me out, so I'm hoping that stays really consistent throughout the book. It's happening really fast. Like this is 300 pages, over 300 pages, and like the haunting stuff has happened literally like straight from the first page, and it's not really stopped. So I'm a bit worried about pacing. I'm worried that if the haunting stuff has happened this early on and this quick, that we might get bored of it later on. I will try and check in halfway through, but I always forget. But I'm going to try and be better at that. So I've come to do an update on Stolen Tongs by Felix Blackwell. Don't know why I've got my Kindle here because I can't get the title page up. Well, I can, but anyway. I think I mentioned last update that I was worried that because it went straight into like the haunting and everything was happening at the start of the book, that for like a almost 400 page book it was going to get a bit boring and repetitive, which halfway through, I'm 60% through, it is getting a little bit like that. Diesel, what are you doing? Another thing that I find really weird is like the main character in the book has the same name as the author, and the dedication says to the real Faye, and in the book his girlfriend's called Faye. So I think like the character's like he's made himself the main character, which is a bit strange, but yeah, I am enjoying it. This is the first like ghost book, like I said at the start, that's really creeps me out so far. The start of the book was really creepy. I think because it's been so many pages of like the same haunting, it's got used to it a bit and it's like a bit samey. But I really like the indigenous setting and learning about all the indigenous folklores. I think that is really interesting. I'm really interested in that. I don't see this being more than a 4-star, so it's gonna be like 4 stars or less, I would have thought. So dark and gloomy outside, like it feels really dark in this room, but I am doing an update. As you just saw, I had a really nice day yesterday. We went ice skating, which was really fun. I haven't been for years, since I was like really little, and we went to a like Christmas display in like a garden centre. We took our niece there, so yeah, that was really nice to see. I can't remember how much I told you about finishing the book last time, or if I finished the book, but I finished Stolen Tongs and I rated it 3.5 stars. I'm just going to do this really quickly because I need to make Sunday dinner and it's getting on a bit. Like I said, it's the first book that gave me the creeps and made me creeped out. Like right from the start, it was really creepy with the hauntings and getting into like the haunting action really early. However, because of that, I felt like the pacing of the book was off, because you got like bored of the haunting quicker because there was no like build up, it was happening straight away. But the story was enjoyable. As I said, I've liked the Native American folklore. I really enjoyed like learning about that. That was really interesting, and I'd like to read more stories like that. Yeah, 3.5 stars. Okay, good, not the greatest due to pacing issues. I have started my next book because I am really bad at updating, as you all know. I have gone off the winter theme with this one because I just need to get this read. But the first 2 books we read have been winter themed, so I guess it's still like a winter vlog. But I have started End of Watch by Stephen King. This is the last book in the Mr. Mercedes trilogy. I've just started watching the TV show as well, which is really interesting. So now when I'm reading it, I'm like picturing the actors as the characters, which is always better, I think. I don't really want to spoil anything, so there's not too much that I can say. It's just that this is following the same characters from the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, but I think it's 6 or 8 years later, something like that. They're kind of like standalone stories, but you do need the background of the first book to read it, and there's characters from the second book as well. But the second book and this book, like the stories are quite different. This is the start of like the broader Holly Gibney series by Stephen King. So after this trilogy, like we do go on and follow Holly's character, which I think this trilogy is like self-contained, but then you can like continue on with that character after. I really like going back into this world and being with these characters that I love, and Stephen King's writing, particularly in this trilogy, I think it just feels like home to me. Like, it feels comfortable. Well, I'm halfway through the book now, so I can do like my mid-book update. We are following Bill Hodges again. As we go back, he's investigating more into without spoiling the previous books, into the person that committed the Mercedes killings that were in the first book. Can't say too much about that. I think I gave the last book 4 stars or 4.5 stars. I think this is going to be like that for around 4.5 stars again. But yeah, not much I can say. There hasn't actually been much happening. At the start of the book, it's been more like character progression and character like building, I guess. I think this is the main thing with this series, is the characters is the main thing, and people love the characters. I'll probably just give you my final thoughts at the end, because it is the last book of the series, I can't mention the main plot points. So I'm here to give my final thoughts and end this vlog of Stephen King's End of Watch. It's so difficult to talk about this book because anything that I'll say will spoil book 1. This is why I don't usually pick end of series to read in vlogs, but I needed to get this done. I will say there is a big thing that is different about this book than the first 2 books in the trilogy, and from what I've read online, not a lot of people like that twist in genre, I guess, but I really loved it. And to be honest, it's what you'd expect from Stephen King. It's like his signature thing, I guess. So I was actually expecting it sooner, and I do like that they waited until the end to include that. And it's like explained in like a plausible, well, as plausible as you can make it way. It's not like totally come out of like nowhere. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed being back in this world, being back with these characters. I rated it a 3.5 stars. I rated it lower than the other 2. I enjoyed the other 2 books a lot more because I think I was just a bit bored and tired by the end of it. I just wanted to get it done really, but Stephen King's writing is as good as it always is, and I don't actually have anything negative to say about it other than the fact that I just got a bit bored. Yeah, 3.5 stars, enjoyed it, glad to be done with the trilogy. I'm gonna take a break from these characters and not continue with the bigger series for a while, I think, but that'll make it like even better when I get back into it. So yeah, that is everything for this vlog and the winter themed vlog, and I'll see you next time I upload a video. Thank you, bye.